Hi there, it's Rena. As you get used to working out, exercising, and practicing at home, I'm sure there's still a part of you that's missing your favorite yoga things that you'd find at a studio. Follow me in this video to see how we can be resourceful with the things we have around at home so that your home practice doesn't have to suffer. Now let's start out by going over the block. The quintessential yoga block offers you a lot of support, but if you don't have one, teachers will tell you to replace it with a stack of thick, big books. Now, let me show you how I'd use it in a seated practice. I'll find books of equal thickness and place it under the bony parts of each of my bum. And then I've also made some room in between so that my tailbone isn't touching any hard surface. And I can just position the books in any way that makes me feel secure, makes me feel comfy. And already this lessens the pressure or pinching that you might feel in the front of your hips or in the back of your hips. But if you want to upgrade this a notch, you can take a beach towel or a bath towel, something nice and thick in texture and cushiness to replace the yoga blanket. And I have one over here. I folded it twice, so once and then another. And I'm gathering the folded side over towards me so that I can line it up and roll it in a tubular form away from me. Now you'll use this to wrap around your feet, cushioning the front of your feet, and really gathering it towards the undersides of your legs and hips. This will keep your legs buffered so that you don't feel a lot of heaviness in the bony parts like the outer ankles or in your shins. And you might feel ready to, practice mindfulness or meditation for much longer than you're used to. Now, if you were to take this into a kneeling practice, you'll also make use of the rolled up blanket, or rolled up towel rather, but you'll unfurl some, and let me just remove the books from underneath me, and place this towel behind me to act as a support for my feet. Now you want to let the rolled up parts prop up the space in your ankles so that you can rest the tops of your feet down. And to make it just a little bit more deluxe, you can wrap the outer edges of the towel covering your feet so that when you rest your hips down, you have that nice cushy support. Now, if you're still feeling a little funky in the knees, you can take another towel, maybe something just a little thinner, and place this under your knees, or the back of your thighs rather. And you can see me really try to pull this towards the crook of my knees. And what this does is create some space in the knee joint. Now, it's nice to have a lot more fabric to play around with because I will also try to wrap the outer edges of this other towel so that to act as a support for the underside of my knees as well. So, perfectly doable. Easy peasy, yes? And you're probably thinking, why don't I just use cushions or pillows? Well, first of all, I come from a household without many decorative pillows. That's one. And two, I don't want to use my bed pillows for a mat practice. Now let me show you how to fold the towel another way to replace a pillow. We'll just open it up to about this wide or this thick and this long, and we'll fold it like an accordion, roughly measuring about 4 inches. Fold it over, lift it up, and then fold it under so that you create that accordion winding effect. And keep going and going until you run out of fabric. Now I'll place this as support for my head as I lie down on my side. And I'll show you a few things here. Now I'll stretch out my bottom arm underneath me and lay my head down, and notice how my head just drops. And some of you might be okay with that, but I'm not. So what I'll do here is I'll fold this up, let it curl under me, and make sure it fits nicely in the space, the grooves of my head, the neck and shoulder. And already start to see my head align well with the rest of my spine. Yes, I can keep my legs bent and I can extend. Now, another useful tool is a handy dandy travel pillow, which you're probably not having to use now since we can't fly anywhere anyways. So you can place this between your legs. You can also place this between your ankles, or you can just place it on your armpit, whichever placement position that offers you the best comfort. So this is when you get to explore. Now, let me come up from here and show you how I use a chair, and that will be the end for today. So I have just a regular old foldable chair here, and I'll rearrange a few of my props. I'll have the towel wide to support the back of my hips. I have another towel for support of my head, and I'm gonna roll down onto the ground, scooting my hips close towards the chair so that I may lift my feet up and roll onto my backside so that I can bring as much of my calves onto the chair here, thereby lessening any effort on the legs and in the front of my hips. Now, pressing the heels down and lifting the hips up will allow me to adjust the placement of the blanket or the folding of the blanket in any way I like. You can also adjust your head support and just smush it up underneath you. Doesn't really have to look pretty at all. Just has to feel nice. Just has to feel right. And whenever you're ready, rest in this elevated legs position. An easy one would be to just elevate your legs up on the wall, but this is nice too. And automatically it switches on my relaxation response. So I have to count down 3, 2, 1 to bring myself up, which I so regret. You can just shift your hips side to side, bend your knees towards you, lift your bottom arm or your right arm, in my case, to act as head support when you roll into one side down. Then use your hands to prop yourself up. Come into a comfortable seated position of your choice, and hope you learned a few things from that. Hope you can also reinvent a few things on your own. Do enjoy your home practice. Hope you can make it your own practice. Take care. Bye.